Call is now being recorded.
Welcome to the V2V podcast, episode 10. This is Aurelius. Shorts is busy on assignment this week. We have a special guest in studio today, J Vincent Howard. He's a filmmaker and DJ, and we'd like to talk to him about some of his upcoming projects and what he's got going on. Jay.
Yeah.
Glad you're here on the show.
Yeah, it's so fantastic to be here. You know, I'm the J Vincent Howard. Yeah.
Excellent. So I hear you have a film project called Dirty Kids. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's about?
Yeah, so basically the kids, they come over and they're playing in the outside and they get really dirty. And then, you know, they have the slams. And, you know, they're in the slams and then they get dirty again. And we wash them off and, you know, we make the film about this. It's fantastic.
So you're filming washing the kids up?
Yeah, 'cause you know, they're dirty. They're the dirty kids, you know?
Right. Sure. So where are you finding these dirty kids? In the slums?
Yeah, no, we have the slams set up in the backyard with the dirt, you know, and so basically, you know, some of the nannies, you know, who take care of the house, the housekeeper and the maid, they have the kids and they come over and they get dirty, you know.
And you're filming this?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there a release date for this project?
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking about sometime next week, you know, maybe in the summer, maybe, you know, in the fall or something, you know, or whenever I feel like it.
Right. Do you have studio backing for this, or is this an independent project?
Yeah, the Weinstein and the other person who got fired from the Nickelodeon is going to help us out, yeah.
Right. Is Spacey involved in this one?
Yeah.
He is. Oh, is maybe his
Yeah.
comeback, huh?
Yeah, the Spacey. Yeah, you know, 'cause he was the president, and then, you know, we need the leader who touchy, you know? It's important.
Right, to get those kids all cleaned up.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, that sounds really interesting. My understanding, Jay, is that you're also a DJ.
Yeah.
You go by the stage name Slum Lotus. Can you
Yeah.
tell us about that? What kind of music you play? What events you're at?
Yeah, so, you know, I like to slam the lotus, and, you know, it's important to grow and slam the lotus, and then, you know, I'm doing the club in the Hollywood sometime, maybe next week or in the summer or in the fall, and then
Or
whenever I
you
feel like it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to see a pattern with
Yeah.
with the stuff. Is that because you're so independently wealthy, you can kind of just create projects at will whenever you feel like it?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I mean, it's basically because, you know, when I moved to the United States, I met the Jim Morrison at the beach, and I saw there were the bums doing the things, and I thought I should do the business. And then I dominated the business, and now I'm rich beyond the wildest dreams. Yeah,
absolutely. I know you have a lot of love for the homeless people out in Venice and Santa Monica. Is that kind of what this is partially about? Your desire to let people know that they all count and they're all equal, you know, in the eyes of J Vincent Howard?
absolutely. I mean, in the eyes of J Vincent Howard, they're all equal, and all the dirty kids, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. You know, something occurred to me. I read a post on social media from you recently regarding the idea of being able to live without money. So how do you reconcile being so wealthy and then also posting something regarding, you know, the idea of living without money, because you obviously don't. You have plenty of it.
Yeah. Well, it's important to, tell, there's lots of the poor people out there, and they're the poor, and we can't help them because they're just the poor. And, I want to relate to them, and I want to tell them that everything's fantastic while I'm living in my mansion and flying my chopper and driving my Hammer, and fucking the nanny. It's important.
Sure. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. Thanks for calling in, Jay. I'm going to put links to all of your projects in our show notes so that
thank you.
Interested people can click on your videos and music and see what's going on. So wonderful.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you for coming in today.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Looking for some trouble where your head gon' get it. Never hesitate to share time my peasant. Pussy nigga ever did respect my presence. Fully automatic, let your hair these pellets. Pew, nigga, your bed gone, nigga. We putting on, nigga. Got long scroll. Got a bad bitch with no thong with her. And she walking out like King.
Hey, welcome back to the V2V podcast with Shorts and Aurelius. Shorts is on assignment this week, but we have a special guest, J Vincent Howard, who wanted to come in and talk about his film project called Dirty Kids, and welcome.
What's up, you guys?
So what's going on?
Right now I'm chilling. I am getting ready to go to a gig tomorrow in Louisville, Kentucky. Gonna play on a really big sound system in front of a whole bunch of people. It's the biggest gig I've ever been before. I'm really, really nervous. And so today I'm like preparing to go, and I rode my bike down to the store to go get lunch and send out some mail and do some things. And I bumped into some kids from Venice Beach. It was really serendipitous. So I just finished my lunch, and now here I am sitting by a bus stop. Home alone.
Right. You're up in the Arcata area?
Yeah, I'm in a place called Trinidad, which is 2 towns north of Arcata. It's a little more scenic.
Yeah, I know where that is. I lived up in that area in the mid-'90s for a couple of years. I was doing indoor grow with 2 other friends. That was back when weed was $5,000 a pound. So
man, that's crazy.
We did about 2 pounds every 45 days, and I had one customer who drove up from L.A. This gangbanger black dude who would insist on putting a big pile of cocaine on the table and his gun, and then he'd tell us scary stories for an hour, and told us we should invest in paid parking lots as a good money laundering venture, and then he'd give us $10,000 and leave with his 2 pounds. But he insisted on every visit that he put his drugs and gun on the table and then tell us scary stories about his life. It was pretty incredible.
Wow, that's funny. I've met a few people who that seems to be the tactic they use.
Right, and we never really. I mean, he was friendly, but he just had to do that as part of his routine, I guess. It was.
Yep.
It worked. It was very intimidating. The cocaine was never touched. Like no one ever mentioned the gun. It was just like here's who I am right here, and now I have to talk to you about L.A. and gangbang.
Yeah. I've known a lot of growers where when you drive out to their property, they kind of just lay it down as, yeah, we're really out in the middle of nowhere, and
right.
We shoot lots of guns and blah blah blah. No one ever comes out here, and oh yeah, you'll never get caught shooting a gun. And you're just like, oh, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, right? It'd be subtle ways to, intimidate you to make sure that you know who's the boss, kind of. Okay, cool. That's fine. Because if you start engaging in that too much, then they get, some of these people will get suspicious, why are you asking so many questions? Yeah, so it's better just to remain quiet, let them go on their little rant, and then get down to business whenever they're ready. 'Cause I've got nothing better to do, right? So what's for the people who don't know, because I found that this is true. I've been telling people about kind of what you're doing and saying that, you know, you're doing this quote unquote dirty kids documentary, and people have no idea what that means. So can you explain to our listeners what's a dirty kid?
I can definitely explain to your listeners what a dirty kid is. I've been practicing this. So, dirty kids, to me, are the kids who kind of fall between the cracks, you know, all the high school dropouts, all the train hopping kids, all the hitchhiking kids, all the kids who go from shows and sneak into shows and hustle on lots and have dreadlocks and dogs and listen to punk music, you know, and there's ravers and there's kids that are all drugged out. There's kids that are all not drugged out. I've met Christian dirty kids. I've met Buddhist dirty kids. It's basically the kids who live outside are the dirty kids, and we all recognize each other. And there's so many different types of dirty kids. It's like it's hard to even really put us in a box, you know. But I think the one thing that we all have in common is we all have that adventurous spirit, and none of us really seem to fit that niche in society where we're able to be settled down and really get our shit together and hold it together. Like, I've tried, man. I've tried so hard. I ran a DJ business for years. I've worked a whole bunch of jobs. I've worked construction. I've had and lost money. I used to have a Dodge SRT 8 Magnum. That's a fucking dope car for a kid like me, and I had one.
Sure it is.
And my car got stolen. And I was building my car, so I didn't have it insured at the time because I didn't want to be spending the extra money on insurance while it's in the shop. And then while I was in the shop, my car got stolen. You know? And it's just like a lot of dirty kids that I meet, a lot of them try really hard to fit into society, and for whatever reason, something has gone wrong, or something never manifested to fruition, you know, or things just didn't work out, or they just, you know, for even totally different reasons might not want to be in the normal flow of society. Some kids have mental illnesses. Some kids are just bored.
Right.
But I think the thing the thing that really makes us all the same is that we're the kids who live outside. That's what a dirty kid is.
Absolutely. In my experience, I was living outside in Venice for 4 years up until the last year or so on purpose. You know, I'm in my mid-40s, and it didn't matter. I thought that was pretty interesting that you can be a grown-up dirty kid as well. In fact, I don't know if you know my friend Travis. Yeah, I think you do. In his bicycling adventures. You know,
Travis is actually my best friend. That's my number one ride or die homie.
Right. And, you know, he's doing the same thing right now as we speak. You know, the guy got arrested 3 times this year, didn't faze him not once, you know. I ended up working on a farm with him up in Oregon for 6 months. I brought him up there, and we did all this basically work for free, and I was able to, you know, get him paid. That's how he got his bike. And I love that guy. He's 100% committed to living his life the way that he feels is right, and nobody can convince him differently. And I think we need more of that in this world, where people aren't so committed to following the pack just because these other people seem to be going somewhere, you know, like.
I absolutely agree with you. And look at, like, his impact on the environment. It doesn't exist.
Right.
You know?
Right, exactly. It's, you know, people have a lot of misconceptions about, like, you know, the homeless or people living outside, or however you want to put it. But just in your, you know, initial description of who dirty kids are, it indicates that it's everybody, you know, it's anybody.
Exactly,
anybody
man.
can qualify. It's just a matter of It's just a matter of being brave enough to go out and see the world as it really is, in a sense, outside of the confines of, four walls, and not being afraid to not shower for, I think my longest stretch was 3 months.
Mine was 3 months as well.
And also learn how to stay clean and healthy to your best ability. Like, it's really fascinating. I heard a lot of people talk about, like, people out on the street doing, it's drug infested and things like that. Well, what a lot of people tend to forget is that almost all of the drugs are inside, like, the people that you don't see. Like, the quantity of substances that any given person takes, the person who's living outside compared to the person who's inside, there's almost no comparison. Like, those are the people with
absolutely.
resources.
The dealers live in houses. Come on.
Right, and the committed users live in houses. Right? You ever tried to find drugs on the street? It's not always easy.
No, that's what, and that's why I thrived in Venice when I was a drug addict.
Sure. Right.
I had a really trustworthy personality, and I'm a straight shooter, but you can see it when I actually talk to me. I mean what I say and I do what I mean. And because of that, I also get along with shady people, because they can meet me and they're like, okay, if I give you a front, you're not going to rip me off. And I would do, I've had times where I was at my worst, where I was just back and forth from the boardwalk inland, back to the boardwalk inland. And here's the thing, man, all those people that I was meeting up with and taking things to people on the streets, all those people I was meeting up with live in houses, bro. That's why I have to go inland.
Yep, every time. I have to make it a little announcement. There's some phone breakup on your end, so just please forgive us and bear with us with the sound qualities. We are talking to Jay, who's outside, so don't send me a harsh comment.
Right.
Right.
It's always frustrating with phone calls, man. People are trying to call me all the time, and I'm always like, I don't take calls because I fucking can't hear you. But right now, I can hear you pretty well, actually surprisingly well. I think the Google Voice thing works pretty well. And I have a Google phone. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, like the Google Voice to the Google phone. Maybe it works better. I don't know.
No, it's all integrated in some fashion. Like when your phone is off, man, they're still listening. We all know this. Like they're still watching and listening even when your phone is like dead, off, no battery in it. Absolutely. Like I believe that 100%.
Yeah. Do you use any have you ever used any encryption apps?
No, not really. Just like I've communicated on WhatsApp a little bit because that's pretty safe. And some VPN stuff when I was doing things that were more or less illegal. Back when I was living my street life. So yeah, I have some familiarity with that stuff, but generally speaking, no.
I'm a pretty outspoken anarchist. If you research me for about 5 minutes, you'll figure out I'm an anarchist. And I'm a peaceful anarchist. I'd like to make note of that because that is an actual thing. But because of that, I feel like there's a government target painted on my back to a degree. And so I really like to use encrypted apps. And I have a friend who told me that Signal couldn't even be cracked by the Army Ranger hackers. They tried to crack it and they couldn't crack the encryption. And because of that, I use Signal. I even talked to my mom with it. Like, I like the privacy. I don't really think that it's really that justified to be spying on us to such a degree, you know. And I think even if you don't have anything to hide, I think it's important for people to flex and demonstrate their rights to privacy by covering their tracks, you know. Like, even if you don't have anything to hide, I think it's important for us to flex our rights, because when you don't express your rights, that's when they start disappearing without us noticing, you know. And I could apply that to homelessness, you know. Like, if you don't live on the streets, let's say, and the majority of people do not, then all of a sudden all of these laws start getting passed, and one by one, all of these little human rights that we have as normal members of society start getting taken away from us because we're homeless. You know, you can't be asleep all of a sudden is illegal. You know, and how the hell can anybody justify that? Well, I can tell you how, is because they don't live that way, and they don't have the critical thinking or the insight to make an actually compassionate or, in my opinion, effective decision towards that particular issue, because they don't have the perspective, you know?
Right.
And so I think it's
covering some of that. Sorry to interrupt. Are you covering some of that stuff? You know, in these the videos that you're making? I mean, are you approaching these topics like that people have to deal with and on the street, like their loss of rights or the rights that they may not even know about?
That's actually a really, really good question. So with the show, there's a few things that I'm trying to do that I've made goals of mine with the show. And the number one goal, I would say, is to not push people away with the show.
Sure.
Because the general public, let's just say, you know, and I want people to the same kind of compassion and empathy that I feel for homeless people.
Sure.
And something I've thought about is to really to get a large demographic of people to really see your side. I think you have to ease them into it, you know? If I just throw these people into a diving pool, they're going to drown. But if I let them kind of tiptoe their way into the beach, it might be really pleasant, you know?
Absolutely.
So what I'm trying to do with season 1, and especially with the pilot episode, which is almost done filming, I have 40 minutes of it so far, and I'm really proud of that, man. It took me like a month to have 40 minutes of footage.
Right.
And,
get it.
yeah. What I'm trying to do with the pilot, and especially with the pilot, and then also with season 1, is first, I'm introducing all of the core characters, which is me and my best friends. The people that I really truly can trust in the streets, because I know them, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that they're not going to fuck up my show, because I know them. And so first, I'm going to introduce the characters, and then I'm doing it in a really, kind of happy-go-lucky, it almost kind of projects a sense of naivety towards me and my friends, you know? Like, oh, these kids are oogles, they don't know what they're doing, you know? And that's kind of how I want people to see it, is that, you know, that you can jump into this and be way over your head really fast, you know, and then it's kind of on you to learn and adapt and to figure it out and know how to survive and to fucking make allies in the streets and to, you know, protect yourself and this and that and whatever. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show people first that we're good people. And I really want to establish that connection, and I want people to kind of fall in love with those characters and to really, actually have empathy for the characters. And then, as it progresses, shit's just going to get more and more fucked. So, I have this gig that's coming up in 3 days, and I have to go all the way to California to Louisville. And the promoter didn't get my ticket in time, so I had to scramble and get all of my friends off. I had to hit up so many friends asking who can spot me a bus ticket, and I finally got a friend at the last minute to get me a bus ticket. And I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna get there right before my show. I'm gonna be there just in time. Right you know, and that's the kind of things, man, is everything can go wrong. And so as everything goes wrong, people are gonna see more and more how fucked up shit gets. And I live in the streets long enough that I know I don't know what'll go down. I just know that something will, because it always does, you know. And so season 1 is gonna show the reality of being homeless. It's gonna, you know, we're gonna be humanizing homelessness in season 1, and me and my friends are gonna travel through America with the show, and that's gonna be the big thing for season 1 is to show homeless America. And the drug crisis really ties into the homeless crisis a lot. So
Sure.
I'm going to show that, and I'm going to gently ease into it. And then season 2 is going to start with me and my friends getting to the Mexican border.
Okay.
And when we get to the Mexican border, then we're going to go into Mexico. And our plan is to, first we're going to go down the eastern coast of Mexico, and we're going to hit all like the Gulf beach party areas, like Cancun and stuff like that. And that'll kind of ease us into Mexico, right?
Right.
Then we are going to cut across through central Mexico and go through Durango and probably end up at like the southernmost tip of Sinaloa. And then we're going to go down the Pacific coast of Mexico. And it's going to get a lot scarier when we go through central Mexico and all that.
Yeah. I have some experience there. It was a few years ago, but sometimes it's not so nice down there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely not. And so the plan is to survive our way through central Mexico, and then we're going to make our way to southern Mexico. And southern Mexico is incredibly dangerous. And Guatemala and El Salvador and Honduras and Nicaragua are all incredibly dangerous. Right now, that entire area is engulfed in a civil war between the people and the cartels. Right. And me and my friends, because we're dirty kids, I don't want to fly places. Yeah. I want to hop trains, ride motorbikes, hitchhike, take buses, and go by land, because that's what dirty kids do. And I need to show the reality of that. And so we're trying to get to Chile by 2020 to make it to a solar eclipse that's happening. And that's going to be the conclusion of season 3, is getting to the solar eclipse. But we've dedicated ourselves to making it there by ground or by water. We're not going to go by air. Unless we, like, get hang gliders or something. And, so, come on, we're going to have to pass through this war zone, is what the reality of that is. And so, in season 2, the plan is to make our way all the way from Mexico all the way to Costa Rica. Okay. And Costa Rica's safe. Costa Rica is like a party place. And I'm hoping that we can make it there in time for this festival called Envision Festival. But I'm a dirty kid and shit tends not to work out, so I can't just like say like, oh yeah, we're going to make it to that festival. But we're going to try. And so the plan is, once we get to southern Mexico, I've been researching militias. And that sounds totally batshit insane, dude, but I grew up in a military family. And I really, I was kind of groomed to do something like this. I spent my whole life wanting to join the Marines, and then I became homeless, and then I kind of just, went off on my wingnut shit and did all sorts of crazy traveling shit. But I always had in the back of my head that instilled into me and beaten into me my whole life was you should join the military. You should join the military, serve your country, do something for your country, and I've always wanted to do some form of service. So, there's a war against the cartels going on right now. There's a war against the cartels right now, and me and my best friend, who's a tough motherfucker from Flint, Michigan, by the way, we want to go down there and join a militia and pass through that region and make our way to Costa Rica. We're likely going to have to join multiple militias. You have to join one militia and get to the next militia, and then get to the next one, and the next checkpoint, and the next one, until we make our way to Costa Rica. We're going to have to go through 4 countries. Yeah. And it's going to be scary, dude. I'm terrified of it. I'd be lying to you if I said I am not, But the thing is I've publicized this. I'm not backing down, bro. It's given my life purpose, and I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I want to do a service to the world, and I see it beyond reasons of money, man. I've been a homeless kid for so long. I want to show homeless kids what they can do, how you can achieve meaning in life, without money. Dude, so far I've spent $2 producing my movie. $2, and it was for an act, Right. And I want to show people that impossible shit like that is possible. And so we're going to do this. We're going to go and fight the cartels or whatever. Who knows? I might luck out and I might be able to like travel in convoys with these militias and just film. But I'm willing to pick up an AK-47. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
well, this sounds very exciting. We're running.
And I just want to conclude. I want to conclude saying, let me wrap it up real quick.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna do that, and the whole motivation of doing that is, I realize this after all like the plans starting to fall together, is the route that we have to take to get to the eclipse is the exact same route as the refugees that are coming into America right now. There's this huge topic in the news right now. It's like the biggest talk point that anyone is talking about. And it intertwines with the American drug war, which is fueling the opioid crisis and the methamphetamine crisis and the cocaine crisis that are causing people to be homeless and causing all of the refugees to come here. It's all the same big, sticky issue. And so by going through...
They're going to be looking at you like you're going the wrong way, bro.
Yeah, we're walking into the lion's den.
Yeah,
but that's the whole point of it, is I want to show people really what the fuck is happening.
Good.
And that's what we're gonna do. And then season 3 is gonna be all about healing. We're gonna do ayahuasca in the rainforest. We're gonna make our way to Chile, and that's gonna be season 3. So that's the end of my rant.
No, that's amazing. Like, I'm excited just hearing about it. So I want to thank you for coming on and talking about all this. I think we had some really interesting points that people need to become more aware of, just about homelessness in general, dirty kids, the quest to live authentically, and it really sounds like you're putting in the effort for all the right reasons. So thank you for coming on the show, and I'm going to put any links that pertain to what you're doing down in our show notes so that people can stay up with your progress and all of that good stuff. So thanks, Jay. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
It was awesome, man. I really appreciate you helping me get my message out. It means a lot to me, and I'll never turn down an interview. Even if it's with the conservative audience or whatever, I will go. Right. I will walk into anyone's studio. I want to get my message out there. I want people to hear this, and I want people to gain empathy for all these kids that are out there, because everybody's got children. And all of these kids were somebody's children. And all of us deserve to be loved and deserve to be recognized and deserve to be cared for. And so I'm just trying to get people to realize it.
That's a great way to wrap it up. Thanks, Jay.
Call is now being recorded.
Hello. Hello, who's this?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Hello?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Yeah, listen to me. I'm hungry. I'm here in the game here, and I'm hungry. I need more children.
Is this Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. Yeah, listen to me.
I'm listening.
Yeah, this is new movie I'm coming out with. It's called The Hunger Games. It's the Hunger Games. I'm very, very hungry, and I have to eat the more children in the game.
You're eating the children?
Yeah, they need to be eaten because it's the game.
So you're making is this a remake of the Hunger Games?
No, it's much better than that. You see, in this one, I play the teenager who is, trapped, and I have to come forth as a tribune, because they're taking my sister, and I don't like that, and I'm hungry, and I need to eat more, Well,
that sounds very much like the original movie, but no one was getting eaten.
What?
Yeah. It sounds
really
similar.
Listen to me. Listen to me. This movie is fantastic. It's an original concept. where I'm hungry and I have to eat the children.
Sure. Like I said, that sounds interesting, but it really sounds a lot like the original movie. Are you Katniss?
No, I'm hungry. I'm just fucking hungry. Yeah.
So when is this movie coming out, Arnie?
Yeah, the summer of this year, yeah, sometime in the fall maybe, next week or something, when I feel like it,
Was this a self-produced project? Or
Yeah.
you have major studio backing on this one?
No, I tried to sell it to them, but they didn't want it, and I said, fuck it, I make it myself. I think that the Netflix is maybe going to pick it up, or maybe you could watch it on the Hulu. I don't know. It's fantastic.
Did they tell you why they didn't know?
Well, they didn't like the fact that I was eating the children, and they didn't like the fact that, in this movie, unlike the other movies, I kill over 4 million children. It's fantastic. You actually see me rip apart the guts and eat them out all the time. And I just go through one by one because, I'm hungry, and this is the Hunger Games.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to eat all those children?
Yeah, it's about 3 hours of me eating children straight, in one dramatic. Yeah, in a dramatic. Yeah, I just ravished them savagely. I'm hungry,
So are we talking about just bites out of children?
No.
You eat the whole child?
Yes, I consumed the whole child. I normally start with my favorite part of the body, which is the asshole, because it's the most gruesome. Like the bear, I start with the ass, and then I eat them through that way, and it's gruesome. But I mean, of course, because I have to eat 4 million children. I take bites of some of them and just throw them away because they're disgusting. For instance, I don't like the ones that are vegan.
Do they taste like vegetables?
Yeah, don't like that. It's disgusting. Yeah.
So okay, so that makes more sense, I suppose, that you don't eat all of the children. Some of them, the vegan ones, you just take small bites.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we here at the show wish you great success.
Yeah. Listen, there's going to be like an event for me to meet up, and you can bring your children, and I'll sign copies, and I can post with them, and they can feel very comfortable. Very comfortable.
Too?
Yeah.
You sign the children. That's what I really want to know. Don't eat them, right? You're not eating them on site, or
no,
is that something new?
No, come on, this is ridiculous now. Come on, you're being silly now.
Of course.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I didn't certainly mean to be silly, Mr. Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you're insulting me, Marcus. Yeah. I feel a little bit of the steroid rage coming on now. You know? Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing that I'm miles away from you then.
Yeah, it is, because, I might jag over there, or, and take my chopper, and I might, fly over there and drop a bomb.
Well, I apologize. I don't want any beef between the two of us. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So in this movie also we will be featuring the Richter. The Richter will be the controller of the game where I eat the children. And,
wonderful.
Yeah, the Richter, yeah.
I thought
you remember him?
Last. Yeah. You didn't?
No, the Richter gets his arms chopped off, and he's welcome to the party. He falls in the Total Recall, but he's back in this movie all armless, but he uses his mind to control the game. Yeah.
Right. Well, I wanted to ask you something. Now, this might be a little personal, but did you lie?
Yeah. What?
Did you lie
About what?
about Richter and that whole scenario? Word on the street is that, frankly, you lied.
About?
Killing him last.
No, that was Sully. You're confusing the wrong character. Richter was in the different movie. Sully was in the Commando where I killed him last and I promised to kill him last and I lied. The Richter was Welcome to the Party and he was the baddie in the Total Recall. Whereas Sully was a minor henchman who was bound to die early anyway. Much like the black guy on the plane who died before him when I snapped his neck and I told the air hostess that, my friend is dead tired. Anyway, listen to me.
Sorry for the confusion.
Listen to me. I need to go pump up and I need to go fuck the nanny soon. So do you have any more questions to wrap it up?
No, I think we got it covered. So, new movie, the Hungry Games, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Hunger Games. Yeah, the Hunger Games. Yeah, I'm hungry.
Okay.
No, it's called the Hungry Games. I'm hungry. Yeah. HANGRY. Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then you do so it's the Hungry Games. You got it? I'm hungry.
Got it. Anything else? Any co-stars? Anything like that you want to shout out?
Yeah. There's that one kid that I ate that was above me that I ate and I hold him above me, like in front of the rest to make the rest, to show the example. And I snap him in half and I bite his head off and then I eat his asshole quickly and I throw him into the crowd of the other kids and his bloody carcass is all over them. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for calling in and letting us know about your new movie.
Yeah. Okay,
All
then.
right.
All right, then. Bye.
Bye-bye. Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody.